Thank you guys for being here. I think this is year 8, right? Been here 8 years. I'm blessed. Blessed. I think. Where did 8 years go, Jerry? Yeah, yeah. But I'm honored to be the head coach. I love it here. I really like this team. We got a really nice vibe about us. They work, and excited, thankful. Our veterans came back. I think we have 5 returning starters, right? 5 returning starters. Derek, Oscar, Cliff, Andre started a zillion games in Mawat, getting back into the thing. I really like the new additions we, added from the portal. I like our freshman class a great deal. I like the development of our younger guys too. I think that sophomore class of Derek and Chol and Woolfolk is going to be a really good class for us. And think this is a good team. I'm going to be able to do a lot of different things, and I'm thankful, most thankful. I got my whole staff. Brandon Knight's back. He's been awesome. Terrific coach. TJ Thompson, a rising star in coaching, does an unbelievable job. Steve Haynes back. Mike Larkin's back. Scott's back. Sass is back. Dave Van Dyke is back for another year as the best strength and conditioning guy in the country. Rich is our trainer, does a great job getting guys back on the court. We added a new guy, Marlon Williamson, who's another great addition. Got ties all over the place, and is really going to do a great job for us. So thankful my players came back, the ones that did. Thankful for them, and thankful for my staff. And I guess I'm just going to open up to questions, right? Is that what we need to do?
Coach, after Cliff Amore made the decision to come back, you've seen him grow in the offseason. Now you're seeing him in preseason practices. What have you seen out of his development?
What'd you see today? I saw a lot of good stuff. So, he's bringing the ball up. He couldn't do that in the past. That one-on-one full court drill just really shows his development in the last few years. First, thankfully, he came back to graduate. He's a Dean's List student, and I didn't mention Randy Larson, who's our academic advisor, but every kid has graduated that's come through here. Cliff is going to be another one. He's going to take graduate classes. Andre Hyatt's in grad school. So is Oscar. So great job that they've done. But you saw that one drill right there. He handled the ball. He shoots it better. He's becoming more vocal on the court. The NBA, workouts and stuff were really beneficial to him. He took some of that, feedback and has really worked hard. He's going to be one of the best big guys in the country. Told you guys this when he was a freshman. Appreciate him, and I really appreciate him. Glad he's back for another year. He certainly is going to mean a lot to our program, our university, to graduate, the type of kid he is, and the career. Once you start looking at, after this year, where his stats are going to put him in every top of a lot of different categories. So, very excited about him and his continued development. And going from a rookie guy who I think he led the league in fouls per minutes, to be an all defensive team too, which is 2 years later is unbelievable in this league too. There's a lot of players to choose from on those teams. We have 14 teams and we've added 4 more, so it's going to be 18. Harder and harder to make an all-league team in anything, when you got these kind of players. So, the improvements he's made have just been tremendous. Tremendous.
You add 6 new players to a core of 5 guys who played a lot last year. What are the keys to getting all those guys together?
The first thing is health. As you guys know, I say that all the time. But this summer tour was very important to us, And I like the guys that we've added. Like Noah's very mature, and he's been around, older. Austin Williams has been terrific. He's fast as could be. He gets to the rim. He's built like a tank. These guys have been around, so I think they've really blended in. But I knew they had great personalities when I made those phone calls early on. It's important. Everyone just thinks you replace guys in the portal and all those things. You still got to get the right people, and they're from great families with great people, and I'm really excited about what they've brought, and they've been proven winners. They've scored at the highest levels, and they've assisted at the highest levels, and those kind of things. So their personality is very important. Their maturity is very important. But this group started this summer on our journey, and going to that trip was awesome. And they get to know each other on different levels when you take trips like that. So, glad that they blended in so well, and they really all get along. J. Mike's been awesome blending in. Gavin's been awesome, blending in. And, our young guys have been good. That sophomore class has been a class that older kids like and the younger kids like, and I think that's important. Chemistry, very important.
Steve, can you talk about Andre Hyatt's development? It seems like he's become a much more consistent shooter this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, remember now, Andre was a top 50 player out of high school. He averaged 8.5 points a game for us last year. Had some really big games too. So he's been proven to be a really good player. He's taken it to a different level. He's putting the ball on the floor. He's become more vocal. He's shooting the ball. I mean, his numbers shooting the ball are off the charts, but he's rebounding more. He leads us in assists and a lot of these practices. We stat everything, and he's really, become a complete basketball player, and he's going to have a fantastic season. Like he really is, and very thankful. He's back too. Just very thankful. Off season's crazy. There's, people are talking to our players all the time, and to have these guys come back and finish what they started was very important. And he's been great. He's been great. He's a captain, and his leadership has been outstanding. His practice habits, his voice, he's a calming influence out there for the younger guys. So, yeah, couldn't be more pleased. He's going to have a great year. He really is.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk about you playing faster this year, but I was curious your thoughts on just how that impacts your rebounding in terms of the mentality of attacking the glass offensively and also getting the break going on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, every year, try to, play fast. This group is just more athletic than we've had in the past. I think it's a little different group, but the biggest thing it affects is, and you guys don't factor this in as the stats don't either, quicker you shoot the ball, the more you're on defense, so everyone wants to run up and down like crazy. People I don't want other teams to score easily. So I think last year we were the fourth best defensive team in the country, and therefore we held teams 19, 20 seconds like they couldn't score against us. So the game gets slowed down when you have good defensive team too. So, I think our pace offensively was 160 last year. So we were in that top half. Playing with a shorter shot clock right now with these guys, but we're just faster and we just got more options that way. But we got to become a really good defensive team, and we got the tools to do that. We got length, we got speed. Our backcourt speed's been as good as it's been. But we did lose, the National Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm always worried about, that end of the floor, and you're always worried about rebounding. The more threes you shoot, the longer the rebound is. You got to get rebounders from the, guard position. So when you sit in the room and, yeah, we want to play fast, okay, what does it entail? What I mean? It entails maybe more turnovers, it maybe in more jacked up threes, harder to rebound a bad, three, tough threes and stuff. So it's a lot that kind of goes into that. And
Coach, in this age of positionless players, right? How do you put that in what you want to do with how you're recruiting and putting a team together, particularly with a game that's going today with how players want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone follows the lead, the NBA and, positionless players. I like to recruit good players that can shoot, pass, and dribble, and hopefully they're big enough or athletic enough to be able to play multiple positions on the court. I say to guys, if you limit yourself to one position, there's only 40 minutes at one position. If you can play multiple positions, then you probably can stay on the court for 30, 40 minutes yourself if you can play. So I'm really excited. A lot of guys we brought in, even, J. Mike can play off the ball. He can play the two. Derek can play the 1 and the 2. Gavin Griffiths could play the 2, 3, 1, 4. If we decide to go in that direction. Andre Hyatt's been a multi-position guy since he's been here. Now, even Cliff, who's our 5-man, can guard 1 through 5 now, which he couldn't do as a freshman. So, you can move guys around. It gives a coach more ammunition, and it helps you with injuries. When a guy gets hurt and you lose a guy, there's not that much, I usually only use, the first year I've used 13 scholarships, and, Jeremiah probably, has to sit out. So you got 12, you get 1 or 2 injuries, and now, college basketball's hard like that. We don't have an extra 40 guys lying around, so you got to have some guys that can move around and play a lot of positions. But that's where it's kind of going, and kids are able to shoot, pass, and dribble. And I always get caught up in, I'm a point guard. I mean, good guards get out there, and if you rebound the ball, everyone's a point guard. Now you're the point guard. You got the ball in your hands. So that's be hungry to rebound. Then you become the point guard too if you want that job. So, yeah, positionless basketball. We got a lot of guys that can play that way, and I kind of like that, and I kind of like moving them around, versatility too, defensively and offensively.
Chol hit a couple threes in practice as well as some other shots. What have you seen from his development in the offseason and early in practice?
Yeah, I mean, he's been, gained 18 pounds from last year. That's the first thing. So his body's changed. He's a terrific shooter. He can really shoot the ball. But he's getting more confident putting the ball on. Improvements I've seen, he could shoot the ball last year. I mean, he's been a real good shooter. Now he can put the ball on the deck. Now he can drive it. He's making plays off the dribble too, passing the ball. And he needed to make the biggest jumps on the defensive end of the floor, and he has. He's bending his knees. He's more active. He's got tremendous length. His hands and his reach is, tremendous. So he's probably made the most gains on that end of the floor. It'd be nice to have a guy, along with Oscar. I mean, he can shoot the ball, and Chol can shoot the ball, and Oscar and Noah can shoot the ball, and Gavin's a terrific shooter. So we just got some more guys that could do that, stretch the defense, help Cliff out, and be able to help our guys drive the lane too.
Steve, like you said, this is your 8th season. What is it about this team that just makes it stand out so far?
Again, every year's been exciting, and every year, you have different challenges with your team. I like our depth this year. We haven't had great depth the last couple of years, and then with injuries, we certainly, has hurt our depth. But we can go, some days you lead practice, and, guys like, I like Chol the most. And yesterday, Oscar had an unbelievable day. So if you were here yesterday, you say, boy, and then Michael Davis, and then Noah, Cliff always kind of stands out. Andre's been consistent, but those other guys now, our 11th, our 12th, exciting. So we're really deep. This is by far my deepest team. Every guy comes in and can do some stuff to help us. So, but every year is exciting. I like that part of basketball, and all the other stuff. Like, I like to figure it out, and I like the challenges that come with the season. And I know people already, you guys will sit there and, they're going to win this game and this game. No. No coach thinks that way. And you got to figure your team out, and you got to play any game, and you got to play well, and then you got to move guys around, and then you got injuries, and you got guys that are sick, and you got guys that are in slumps. And that's the part that I like the most, and I like that I have the most pieces that I've had, to be able to get through, the obstacles that the season's going to bring. And that's what I really like as a coach. I like figuring that stuff out, and nothing's done on paper. You don't win games on paper. You don't win, you got to play, and you got to earn wins. And we do play in the best league in the country, so you really got to earn wins. And the league that plays the most close games, and the league that has, unbelievable coaches and all different styles of play. So guys got to be prepared for everything. So that's what I like most about what I do.
Yeah, Steve, Mowat was cleared for contact last week. What's your guys' approach as far as ramping him up, and do you think there's a chance he'll be back for the season opener?
I mean, he's been awesome. So, when he's ready, but he's way ahead of everything. So, we're just excited to have him back. He's doing more and more every day, and we're blessed, and he's a veteran guy. He knows the system and stuff. So we're still a long way from playing a game, with all of our guys. So, but we're happy where he is, and hopefully he stays that way, But he'll be ready when he's ready. When he tells the doctors he's ready, he'll be ready.
Steve, you've always had guys that have made big jumps, freshman, sophomore, even before you got here and since you've gotten here. What can you say about Derek and Wolf from last season through the off season to where they are now?
Yeah, I mean, I always love this part of it too, because I think it's a big part of, basketball, and I think we do a really good job between the nutrition and the weight room and watching film with guys and guys better. And those three guys in that class have just gotten better. And Wolf can handle the ball. He's really crafty, scoring against Cliff. Some days he has Cliff, the better of Cliff. He lost weight, so he's not that football body. He's more athletic. And Derek's just fast. I mean, and he's really learning how to be a really good college guard. And he has days where hard time guarding him. So their development has been a huge key. They had a great summer. They stayed the whole summer too, and they worked and got better. And I think took a lot of pride in Wolf. First time he's had an off season, of just pure basketball. So I knew when I recruited him. When you recruit football guys, 6 months and 6 months, and then if you get them for 12 months, I've had other guys that have made major jumps, and he's made a major jump. And I got to figure out how to make sure I play him a little bit at the 4 spot and the 5. I got to get him some minutes because he's clearly deserving of that.
Chris, I
Kind of just going off of that too with Wolf, where do you feel like last season he made the biggest improvement just over the course of the season?
I mean, you know, guys, you really got to play, big time college basketball. When you come right from high school, you just, it's practices are longer, it's everything. School's harder, more film work, more, he was tired a lot last year. He was, just a typical freshman, Now he, once you've gone through it a little bit, you're just more prepared. And he has, even today, I didn't have anybody sub in for him and stuff because I just playing through fatigue and stronger. But, it's a hard adjustment. And to come in as a freshman in this league and, you got to go through a lot. And, he went through that, got better, had a great summer. He's real coachable. Like, this group is really coachable group, and there's not a lot. You bring them in, they tell them what to do, they kind of do it. So he's a big part of our improvement, and the guys love him. He's a great chemistry guy. Like, the guys on the team respect Wolf and really like him. So.
Hey, Steve. When do you and your coaching staff close the book on last season? Was it March? Was it April? Or is there any holdover? Because you mentioned some guys coming back, finishing what they started, Cliff, Andre. Is there any motivation from how last season ended?
Oh, I don't. As soon as the game's over, last season's over. Yeah, you're on to the next one in this day and age, and you live with your team for 1 year. So that's So, I mean, this is a new group. They're excited about. We still got a lot that we want to do, and we got to do it in the best league in the country. So. Last year doesn't come up a lot. It really doesn't. We're on to the new challenges of this year. It's going to bring plenty of challenges, and I don't mention it a lot last year, although I mentioned we're 4th in the nation in defense, and I mentioned that a lot, and we don't look like that right now. So I'll bring up some of those kind of things, but yeah, spend a lot of time. New years, new opportunities, new team, new challenges.
Jerry, the end of the one-on-one drill was a pretty interesting scene today. You called out best offensive versus best defensive. It looked like guys were doing rock, paper, scissors for the chance to get out there. What do you think of how that went? And just in general, what do you look for? What do you think of what you're seeing in these one-on-ones?
Yeah, I mean, not just that. Like, they like to compete, and they like games. If I shut a game down in the middle of it, these guys are like competitive guys, and I like when a couple of guys say I'm the best defender, and you get off the floor, and then I like on the offensive end too. I'm doing it, but they got like a competitive spirit about them, And Jay Mike has brought that too. Like, he's brought a little toughness, and he's got a little swagger to him, and Derek has that too. He's starting to really kind of get that. So I like those two. Last time it was 2 other guys, which I kind of like too. When some other guys, get up and do it. Andre said, I'm the best offensive player, and then, someone else will jump up and guard him. So this group has, been competitive. Then I move guys around and I change uniforms, and they still, they compete. And I like that. And they like when the scoreboard's on, and they like when the shot clock has 12 seconds. You got to do things a little bit quicker, and I change it to 20 seconds. And then, they're into those things. And I like moving our practices. We practice over there, then we practice over here. Different practices, different look. I mean, we've been doing this since June, so this isn't the old days where you start on October 15th, and you got to keep it fresh, and you got to keep it moving. So, but no, those drills, when they get like that, I love it. Don't tell them that.
Between losing Cam, Paul, and Caleb, those are 3 guys that played 30 minutes a game for you guys last year in the backcourt. So you're essentially starting with a new backcourt. Obviously, Derek is back, but a lot of new faces in the backcourt. How do you feel about where your backcourt is at now, and just do you have a pecking order of?
Yeah, I love where we are as a team right now. So it's not just the backcourt. I just think more depth up front, way more depth in the backcourt. Those guys were great, good kids and winners and all that. I think these kids are like that too. So we're, we'll be a little bit different, but we'll have such depth now that we didn't have last year too. So, maybe we could withstand injuries more and do some different things. But, this group has shot the ball at an elite level. They passed the ball. I mean, we have only had 1 day in practice where our assist turnover ratio wasn't a positive. So, I mean, and we're going 22 assists and 6 turnovers type numbers sometimes. So it's not like 12 and 11, type of deal. So, their versatility, their maturity, we got a little different. We got the high energy of J. Mike. We got, Derek, who's a little bit of a veteran, and Noah, who's a big-time veteran, so we got a little bit of that, and also Gavin in that, who's You know, he's the most talented guy we've signed here, you know, during my tenure. So, got like a lot of different. I could move Andre into those spots too in the backcourt, and he's comfortable. So, a lot of different options. And you know, you always miss the guys that leave and graduate or leave. You know, but you get new opportunities for these guys, and these guys have been working hard. Derek's been working hard to, you know, take advantage. He finished the year as a really good guard in this league. You know, the coach is a really good guard. He played great in the last 5-6 games. So, you know, now he gets an opportunity, and these other guys do too. So, it's good.
I'm curious, coming off the international trip, you get to spend a week and a half together with so many newcomers on this team. How did that impact or speed up the process of getting this whole group together and gelling? Yeah, I mean, you know, they were all here early for, you know, summer school, you know, to begin with, and then, you know, they really jumped right into it. They're good kids. They like to be in the gym. So this group played a lot of pickup, you know, the summer, which is great. And obviously that trip, we have real practices before we left, and then you're 10 days, 11 days, you know, 24 hours a day, you know, with guys. And then they came right back. They went home for a little bit. I kind of like how the summer kind of played out. They went home, got a little break in the action, and then they've gotten back to work. So, yeah, and the veteran guys have been like really good. Oscar's a great guy to have back. He's a great locker room guy, and the guys all like him, and you know, just really, you know, got a great vibe, this group, and enough veterans and enough young guys, and then that sophomore class is a well-liked, you know, class, and they've really blended with the newcomers and the older guys. So, you know, we got good chemistry right now. We're 0-0. We haven't hit an obstacle yet, but you know, I think this group will fight through some obstacles.
When you got Noah in the portal, did coaching against him the last couple of years give you maybe a little different perspective than you would have when evaluating someone else?
I mean, first, I loved his family. I mean, he's a great kid. I mean, he started at Wichita State. They were coming off a Final Four trip, I think. You know, we talked a lot about his experience, played for a lot of different coaches. He was hurt last year, too, so he was averaging 13 points before he got hurt. I just liked his maturity. You know, he scored 16 and 11, had a double-double against us. We couldn't stop him. We were a good defensive team, too, at that time. So, you know, seeing him play live and then watching all the film, I mean, he really knows how to play. He's crafty, you know, and he's a leader. He's got nice maturity about him. So, yeah, playing against him, you know, that was the first thing but then making the phone calls and talking to him and his maturity, and he's a humble kid and he's thankful. You know, all those things that I like in guys. And he was hungry for an opportunity. He wanted to play at this level and, you know, the Big Ten and, you know, close to home and all those things. So, yeah, good fit for us and glad to have him.
Coach, you spoke about Gavin Griffiths. What are your expectations for him this season, and how has he kind of adjusted to the next level?
Yeah. Gavin's loves to be in the gym, so I like it. He's athletic, too. Really athletic. So he labels him a shooter, which he is, but he does a lot of things. He can pass, he can handle the ball. He's a good worker, and the guys like him, you know. So he's going to have a really good year. I think he's one of the more talented players in the country. You know, he's ranked that way, and you know, he should be. Can really score. And I think he was our second leading scorer on our tour. You know, every night he seemed to put up 20. You know, and he kind of has an easy way. You know, easy way of scoring. You know, some guys just have that knack, and he kind of has that. So excited to have him.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys taking the time.